Right now, we're in the heart of earnings season, where there are so many numbers coming at you, it's impossible to keep track of everything. And the market often ends up overreacting to both the good and the bad. Which brings me to Logitech International, the maker of computer peripherals like keyboards and mice. You see stuff behind me, headphones, mobile speakers, video conferencing products, tablet accessories, remote controls, all kinds of expensive high-end gaming gear with a stock that's been totally on fire until recently. Now, I've liked Logitech since last November and given us a nearly 50% gain since then. But this week's been brutal. The company reported on Tuesday morning, while the quarter looked just fine at first glance, modest top and bottom line beat, raised full-year guidance. Stock nevertheless plunged 10% in response, and it just keeps getting hammered, down another 4% today. So we need to ask ourselves, has the stock of Logitech run out of steam, or are you simply getting a fabulous buying opportunity here in a company that's made itself integral to the rapidly growing eSports industry, among other activities? Let's dig deeper with Bracken Darrell. He's the CEO of Logitech International, and find out. Bracken, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me,
so we've got some short and long-term concerns here.
Sure.
Short term, I think there's some people who say, well, wait a second, this isn't going to sell that well because I've got Alexa, I've got speakers, and that suddenly that means Logitech has no place in my stock portfolio.
Well, I guess two things, Jim. So first of all, if you look at this table, you can see we're in a lot more than this. So we just are serially entering new categories. And we had, this quarter, for example, we had 3 different categories that grew more than 50%. One grew 70%. We're in the video equipment. We're in gaming, which grew almost 40% this quarter.
Right.
So we've got a lot of things that are really doing well. This is one of the many things that are doing. They're really just surfing these cloud-based platforms. Yeah. So Alexa is actually an opportunity for us in all of our space, including this one.
Okay, and also people feel that somehow the last acquisition too much and that there's things, because you have negative cash flow this quarter. And I was trying to understand the cash flow, but to me it didn't seem to be a problem.
No, cash flow is no problem at all. We actually paid we paid an annual bonus instead of a half-yearly bonus, so we doubled up this quarter. So the cash flow is actually perfect, very strong. And our overall performance is very good. So we were up 13% at the top line, 14% at the bottom. Exceeded expectations. It was a good, strong quarter. I think at the end of the day, it was probably time for a breather. I mean, our stock had more than doubled.
Well, what I was going to tell you is that everything has to be uber perfect. I mean, look at Facebook. I mean, that stock was almost down today at the end of the day. Yeah. And I think that many things are going right, but the thing that is really going right is that people who are looking for a way to play what I think is the hottest trend, and I credit you, I did not even know about it, you told me, which is eSports, have to know that your equipment is the preferred equipment for all eSports gamers, and that business is still in its infancy.
We love eSports. We started into eSports back into gaming when I came into the company 5 years ago. I had kids who were in it, and it's been an explosion of a business for us. And we're getting deeper and deeper into eSports with every launch, and we're really innovating very aggressively. Try to improve the experience for not only the casual player, the competitive player, but even the professional player.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because we have a professional player on set. His name's Andy Din. He's the entrepreneur professional gamer. He's owner of also Team Solomid. Without a gamer, I got to tell you, nobody's going to understand this unless they're schooled by you. So welcome, Andy. And Andy, I'm going to ask you in the most elemental way, just give us the arc of what you've done and how hot this is really for all the world, not just America.
Yeah, so I started in esports when there were just a few hundred people watching, and through the time span of 5 years, from filling just small theaters, we're filling stadiums now, like the Madison Square Garden or even the Staples Center. So it's really exciting to be a part of it.
Okay, so just stop there. Yeah. Filling stadiums, but the Garden's hard to fill because there's a basketball team that doesn't play that well.
Oh, that's
so you're telling me who are these people? They go and what do? They watch?
Yeah, so they go and watch us compete in the stadium.
They watch you play.
Yeah, they watch us play. They interact. They buy our merchandise. They chant our name in stadiums over and over. It's really exciting.
Like there's a group of people who know you.
Yeah.
And they cheer your name. They're like.
Andy is a celebrity. He is absolutely a celebrity.
Is this like WWE before WWE took off?
Absolutely.
I mean, could it be like that where I never knew those guys were? Next thing you know, it's $1 billion industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't you think?
I think it's $1 billion industry right now, and the revenues are in the 100 millions annually, and I think in the future it's going to be in the multi-billions.
So. Okay, so why is Logitech stuff the stuff that everybody uses? From what I can tell, I think that they do.
So for our team specifically, we use Logitech because they're really integrated with us, right? We go once a year to Switzerland to work with their product team on the product. So since we started working with Logitech, we give them input on the mice, on the keyboard, on the headset we even use. And we really like the partnership because we feel like we have a say in the product that we use.
Is it a split second that you gain? I mean, what's the advantage here?
I mean, every second matters, right? So the pricing when you're competing is in the hundreds of millions annually. So like through all the various tournaments that you compete annually, the pricing is insane. And so every click matters. You can lose in basketball based off of 1 point. You can also lose in esports based on 1 second, right? So everything matters, and using your preferred gear is extremely important. It matters more than just a paycheck. You have to use the best product.
Okay, and what games are people playing? Just I know that's not off the topic of Logitech, but what games are people competing on?
So I think the big games that people are competing in right now are League of Legends, CSGO, Dota. Those are like the 3 biggest esports.
Okay.
And we're famous for owning the most popular North American esports team in League of Legends, which is the biggest game. And we're
okay, so when you say that, you bought it from someone, you created it, what happened?
So I was involved in esports really early on as a professional player. And I found
in your teens?
Yes. So I started my company when I was 17. I created a resource website that taught players how to play the game. And at that time, I was also ranked 1 at the game, too. And so I created my team while running my website. And then as time went on, I retired, stepped back, gave my position to another player.
That was probably retired, around 23, right time, right?
Retired early at 21.
Okay.
Your reflexes were getting
In the meantime, there are sponsors, right? You have big sponsors in this. Who are your sponsors? Who's your team sponsors?
Right now, we work with Logitech, HTC, Red Bull, Geico, HyperX.
Geico.
Pretty big sponsor.
So Warren Buffett's in on it. Can you imagine?
Yeah, of course.
And are there other teams that you know you'll beat because they're not using Logitech?
So what we're known for is being the most winningest team in North American esports. We've been a part of the 9 finals. We've been a part of every single finals that's ever existed, and we've taken first 5 times.
And there are colleges now that are offering scholarships, right? Do you have are they like minor league teams for your team?
So we are building an academy team, but we don't recruit from the college level. We look at the overall global ladder, and we recruit worldwide. It's a global sport.
Are there teams? Was the Chinese bought the Korean team?
No, Chinese teams are famous for recruiting Korean players.
Korean players.
Korean players, yes.
Okay, I get. Look, I mean, I know we don't have. I mean, I have to do a whole hour on this thing. You know this because this is something. But what you're telling me, basically, I mean, I want to finish with you. Is this is not. This is first year. Well, I know you've been doing it forever, but first year they're starting to get into the consciousness of people who run money, right?
This is just. It's going to be amazing. You know, they're all these major esports now are reorganizing. They're building permanent teams. Right. They're going to have a buy-in. So in Overwatch, in Activision Blizzard's building a league for Overwatch, which you basically have a $20 million buy-in per team. League of Legends will probably be $10 million. So Andy's going to have to pony up $10 million now to have his team. Then he'll have a permanent team, just like the NFL or the NBA. This league is about to completely change.
And so what percentage, is the last question, what percentage of your company, what percentage of the peripherals do you think are Logitech if I were to go to the Garden watch teams?
You know, it's really hard to say. You know, we sponsor about 25, 26 teams. And so it's a dynamic thing, but we intend to be a leader. We've got great competition in there, too. So there are a lot of great companies making peripherals. But, you know, we're a technology company, and we're going to keep investing to make sure that we give an edge to people who use our equipment.
Well, I want to thank you for opening a lot of people's eyes to this. I do love your equipment. I'm not a gamer, but I like the, hey, I have it and I use it. What can I tell you? And I have Alexa, too. They don't seem to be, they're not mutually exclusive. That's Bracken Darrell, CEO of Logitech, and Andy Tin. Thank you so much, the owner of Team Solomid. And during the break, we'll talk to you about me buying a team.
Perfect.
Because it's a lot better than what I'm doing now. Mad Money's back into the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.